One of the highlights of DC's Rebirth was the amazing Superman run by Patrick Gleason and Peter Tomasi. Finally collected in Omnibus form that came out this week. And before you go get it, and you should really go get it, trust me. But before you dive into that, I have a suggestion of what you need to read first. Stay tuned. Welcome to the 905, the channel where we talk about comics, collectibles, and whatever. Thanks so much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it, as well as a thumbs up if you liked the video. That'd be great. And the notification bell. New videos drop every Tuesday and Thursday. If you're returning, hopefully you've subscribed, and if you have, thank you so much. And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Hit the button down below. Again, I would really appreciate it. So as I started off the show, I was explaining that the amazing run by Patrick Gleason and Peter Tomasi, their Superman run from the DC Rebirth era, is finally released in omnibus form. I cannot wait to get it. I don't have it in my hands just yet. I think I have to hold out for a Father's Day gift. So hey, to the wife and kids, if you're watching this, come on, let's get on it. All right. Needless to say, I don't have that omnibus on hand to do a review for you. However, I should have it in the coming weeks. So stay tuned to the channel for that review video. In the meantime, let's talk about what you can read right now. So just to kind of give a brief understanding of what we're dealing with in terms of timelines, because if anybody knows comics, DC likes to shit the bed on their timeline, don't they? DC rebooted the universe in 2011 with the New 52. Take it or leave it. At least we got some good runs of Batman with Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, and as well as Green Arrow with Jeff Lemire. But I digress. Jeff Johns was then tasked with rebooting the DC universe again in 2016 with the DC Rebirth one-shot. That then leads into this celebrated run by Tomasi and Gleason on Superman. But to be able to bridge, I guess, the two universes, they needed to have something to make it a little bit more palatable for people dealing with Superman. Because the New 52 Superman wasn't really like a recognizable Superman. He was a little bit different. So in comes friend of Superman, Dan Jurgens. Yes, one of the architects of the most celebrated Superman storyline of all time, the death and return of Superman. He came back and he did this amazing series of comics called Superman and Lois. I have the collected edition here. This is The Road to Rebirth. And now you can actually pick this up at any local comic shop, and I suggest you contact your local shop and ask them to get a copy if they don't have one on hand. I'll also put the links in. You get it from Chapters and Amazon. But this is something you definitely would like to get your hands on and to read. It will help make sense of what you're going to read in the Gleason and Tomasi omnibus when you get your hands on it. So Dan Jurgens essentially took the Superman from the Death and Return universe, who I guess most people would actually look at as being probably the definitive modern age version of Superman, and had him and Lois Lane and their son Jonathan essentially, I don't actually know how they did it, but they ended up crossing universes into what is the New 52 universe, and because there was already a Superman there, Clark decided to sit back and watch to see what was happening, because having two Supermans is exceptionally confusing. That being said, the world needs a Superman, and the New 52 Superman met his end, his demise, and in steps the Superman, the Clark Kent that we are accustomed to and have been as readers for a long time. He stepped back into the role, and when the Rebirth universe happens, this is a Superman who we came to know and is then written about during the Gleason Tomasi run. This storyline, though, deals specifically with the events of him and his family, essentially how they came to the 52 universe, Rebirth universe, however you want to call it, just the universe, I guess, from their universe, and dealing with, strangers in a strange land, which is not an unfamiliar theme for Superman. Also dealing with some of the emerging powers of their son Jonathan, and what is their place, what is their role in this universe seeing as how there was already a Superman there. Now, usually I would show you the artwork and I would go over as an overhead shot and show you the book. I actually don't want to do that this time. I just want to recommend it to you because there's a lot in there that could be pretty heavy in spoiler material, and I don't want to spoil the story for you. So I would highly recommend you contacting your LCS and asking them to grab this, because you know what? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I love Dan Jurgens' work on Superman. His writing is phenomenal. He does some of the artwork as well. Not all of it. He does some of it. But it's definitely something that you want to read. It is a fun story. And if you remember, if you were a reader of the New 52 universe and that Superman, you would recognize that you actually couldn't recognize that Superman as your Superman. It was a little bit different. It was kind of like putting on a cool old sweater. It just feels good. When you're reading this Road to Rebirth, Superman, Lois and Clark. And admittedly, I think part of this also is tied into or was used as a DNA for this new Superman TV show that we have called Superman, Lois and Clark. So there you go. So that is my recommendation for this week. It's Superman, Lois and Clark by Dan Jurgens. It is the Road to Rebirth. It bridges the two worlds of the New 52 and Rebirth. It makes understanding Superman a little bit easier when you do decide to go and grab that omnibus. Now, let me just say, if you're saying, do I really need to buy another trade paperback to be able to understand? No, of course not. There is a bit of a preamble in the omnibus that is coming out that will kind of catch you up. But if you want a little bit more information, a bit a wider breadth of information, I would definitely pick up this trade paperback. So thank you for tuning in. Do me a favor. Again, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the like, the thumbs up. The description of where you can grab the book will be listed there. And until next time, stay safe. That's like Zack Snyder special effects, but it would be in slow motion. Ta-da!